Hey guys, Lan here on GradysMom, back with a new week of what I cooked for dinner. Starting off with some zucchini from my parents' garden. You're going to see a couple themes in this week's dinner video. One being I used a lot of veggies from my parents' garden because this is the time of year when everything is harvesting. And the second theme you will see is that I pretty much just wung it this week. I really went kind of off my meal plan, which is fine, and just sort of freestyled it, if you will. So I've got some ground Jimmy Dean pork sausage that I stuffed the zucchini with. I put some marinara sauce on top of the sausage, and then I went ahead and baked them. I really like doing the stuffed zucchini. I've done it with ground turkey, ground beef, sausage, and it's really, really tasty. I put a little bit of some shredded off the block, I think it's Sargento brand, mozzarella cheese on top, and it just baked to perfection. A little bit of fresh basil on top, and we actually had this with a little side salad and some crusty Italian bread. It was just a really simple dinner, and it was a nice way to use up those zucchini. The next night, my husband actually did work for a family that owns an Asian restaurant. I think I've showed in a couple other dinner clips some food that they've given to him, but they sent him home with a bunch of these egg rolls. They were absolutely delicious. I had this sweet and sour sauce already in my fridge, so we just dipped it in that, and they were super, super yummy and fresh. The next night here, again, with the zucchini theme, I think I had like 6 zucchini to use up. So this night here, I diced it up along with a bunch of other veggies that you'll see. And I sort of just kind of created just a random dish with pasta. What I do when I kind of decide to freestyle and go off my meal plan is I, of course, look to see what I need to use up. Like these tomatoes, for example, these were not from my parents' garden, but I did need to use them up. They were getting close to being when they get kind of wrinkled, so I wanted to use them. This is the other half of the sausage from a couple nights previous that I used to stuff the zucchini with, and as you can see, I've got a ton of veggies. So these are the twister peppers I bought a couple weeks ago, so I cut up a bunch of those. Again, those tomatoes, I added some celery, some onion, and of course that zucchini that you saw me slicing up. I sauteed these veggies up with the sausage. The veggies take less time to cook, so that's why I added them last. And then I went ahead and added a packet of this Goya brand Sazon seasoning. And you'll see it kind of gives it like a little bit of an orangey, yellowy tint. And then I went ahead also and added just the tiniest amount of tomato sauce. This is a tiny can, and you can see just a tiny little bit I added just to give it more of like a saucy effect, because I was going to toss this meat and veggie mixture with this linguine. So I just thought without that little bit of tomato sauce, it would have been a little bit too dry. And it was the perfect kind of ingredient to just give it the texture that I wanted and to coat the pasta the way I wanted it to, but not be overpowering because I didn't want it to be like super, super saucy. So here's what it came out looking like after I tossed the linguine with the sausage and veggies. And the Sazon really gave it nice flavor. I also added garlic and cracked black pepper. And as you can see, we had a ton left over, which we had for leftovers for lunch the next day. I really wanted to make pierogies this night. I just love pierogies. I did decide to pan fry them, and I did kind of a breakfast for dinner theme. So I've got some fried over easy eggs here, some Vermont maple breakfast sausage, and then the pierogies, as you can see, as like the potato. And I don't know why, I just felt like putting a little bit of salsa with it, and it was really good, simple breakfast meal, and that's what we had that night. Hey guys, I've got dinner started. So I have some jasmine rice that I put some Sazon in. I've got some lean ground beef that I'm starting to break apart and cook. When this is fully cooked, I will drain the fat. But yeah, let me show you what I used in here. So I have been loving this Goya Sazon lately. I used it 2 or 3 times this week alone, and I just really love it. So I've got veggies cut up, some of the Cento brand sweet peppers. Those are really good, by the way. I've been putting them on sandwiches and using them in dinners. That's the leftover tomato sauce from the other night. I have some Worcestershire sauce, garlic, and a bunch of seasonings that I use. So I sauteed up the zucchini and the onions until they were kind of translucent. This is actually some jasmine rice that I added the sazon to, just regular white jasmine rice. And then I had lean ground beef that I had cooked and drained the fat. I mixed it back in with the veggies and the peppers, and I'm definitely going to add that sazon into like all my rices, brown rice, basmati rice, jasmine rice, because it just gives it such a nice flavor and a beautiful color. And then I topped the rice with the ground beef and veggie mix, and I put some sharp shredded like Mexican style cheese on my husband's, and this is mine. I just wanted to show you a close up because the other plate was covered in cheese, and I think Matt also put like a little sour cream on the side of his as well. And of course I had a ton of rice left over. This is some Boston butt that I had in my slow cooker all day. I have some Simply Potatoes, shredded potatoes that I cooked up with some onion and garlic and put a little cheese. I've got some jalapeno slices here. Totally just wung it this week, as you guys could see. I love those jalapenos, by the way. So after I shredded up the pork really well, I put it back in the crock pot for a little bit, added the barbecue sauce, and we had the shredded cheesy potatoes, the pulled pork, and then this is some jalapenos, and then tomato and a cucumber with fresh basil from my parents' garden once again, with just a little bit of EVOO and salt and pepper. Really easy. This next clip here, I made these veggie skewers with some mushrooms. This is the Oscar's Applewood smoked bacon. This is like a iconic place in our area. Iconic smokehouse, and I actually just put the bacon right on the skewer with the onion, mushroom, tomato, and zucchini, and my husband just grilled these up. They came out really good, and the bacon flavored the veggies. This is the leftover pulled pork. This dinner was a couple nights later. I think there was a night in between those two clips that I skipped filming on by accident. So we had the veggie skewers with the bacon, and then the rest of that barbecued pulled pork. The next clip coming up here is a lunch clip. I thought I would just throw it in here because I only packed my husband's lunch once this week. He was working too far away from home to come home on lunch. So I've got little pretzel sticks. They are the Snyder's Twisted Seasoned Pretzel Sticks, a juicy peach, a granola bar, and the main kind of lunch that he had was this 6-compartment Yum box that we've had for years. Some pepperoni, some sliced cheese, hard-boiled eggs, some green grapes, some celery, ranch dip, and black olives. And he said it was really good. And it was actually a pretty warm day, so he said it was kind of like a nice, refreshing lunch. And of course, I packed his water cooler up, and that's what he took for that day of work. The next clip coming up is the leftover bacon that I used on the skewers. I had half a package of bacon left. This is like a thick cut smoked applewood bacon, so it's not like your traditional bacon like that you get in the store. So I sauteed it up, and then I added in the rest of my baby bella mushrooms that I needed to use up, along with some onion. These three things, bacon, mushrooms, and onions, are like some of my favorite ingredients ever. You're going to see another theme with rice this week. I did a lot of rice, and this was just a yellow rice here, and then I put the bacon, mushroom, and onion kind of mixture on top, and we just sort of had a simple dinner like that. We also had a side salad along with this, but I don't think I filmed a clip for it. It was just a little tomato, there we go, a little tomato side salad with salt, pepper, and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Really simple. I wanted just a simple light salad because the main dish was a little heavy. This next clip here, I'm going to end this video with. It is locally made pork kielbasa that we got from the White Eagle company. It's in Schenectady, New York. I sauteed it up with, again, some veggies, more rice, and then we had this dip here, which is delicious. It's by Terrapin Ridge Farms. That's the company that makes it. It's this dill pickle mustard. It's absolutely delicious on sandwiches with hot dogs, sausages, and we dipped it. My mother was over, which is why there are 3 plates. Thank you so much for watching this week's What's for Dinner video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.